Alright, let's begin. First, you need a cup. You see this cup? I don't know how big it is. I think it's 200 milliliters. It's not even, but it is what it is. Next, flour. You're gonna need some sugar. Oh, that's a bad start. You're gonna need salt, and you're gonna need yeast, dry yeast. That's it for the flour. Oh, and you're gonna need a bowl for later. You're gonna need a little bit of oil and small plate. Do I have a small plate? This is too small to cover this. Nope. I can actually use the other small plate that is hidden here below, that I'm gonna pull out sneakily later when we're done. Alright. Now, step 1. You put the flour in the cup. It needs to go 3/4 of the cup. I cannot give you an exact proportion. Probably around 150 grams or something like that. Three-quarters of the cup. Keep the flour nearby just in case. No, I'm not putting a pineapple. Okay, you put the flour in a big pan like that. This is where you're gonna be doing the handiwork in just a moment. I like to make a little well like that, but the well is not gonna do much for you. It's just for the beginning. Next, you use the same cup, fill it with water. It's gonna be around 1/4 of the cup water. That's even too much. 1/4. I might not even use it all because I'm doing it on high. That's even a little bit much. Around 1/4 of the cup. Next, you're gonna need a teaspoon. Boom. What do you mean ruined? No, you're gonna say ruined a bit later. You're gonna say. Next, this is gonna be the most difficult part. Why? The yeast. Just a super small amount of yeast. I'm gonna drop it as close to the camera as possible. Is this focused? Let's see. It's kind of hard for me to see in the phone, but look. Whoop. That amount. It's like 1/5 or something, I cannot tell you. Oh, not there. You can put it in the water. Alright. Then you put salt in the spoon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Drop it in the water. Then 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. Oh, that's bad. Drop it in the water. Let's fix this problem here. Whenever you mess up, you gotta clean it instantly. No leaving for later. This is the righteous cooking way, my good sir. Now, everything that you put in the water, yeast, salt, sugar, you mix it up a little bit until it gets like same. If you're not sure if it's enough, you can put your finger and feel if there's anything still there. There's not. Done. I'm gonna clean that spoon as well. I'm gonna move away these things, salt and sugar. Actually, I'm gonna need them for the sauce. I'm gonna leave them there. But the yeast we don't need anymore. I'm gonna open. You wanna open the olive oil or normal bottle to be opened because you're gonna need to use it with dirty hands after, pretty much, which is gonna be hard to open. So leave it open. And it's time for things to get messy. This is the hardest part. So, you start putting in the water. You're not gonna put anything, you're gonna put a little bit, and then you're gonna start covering it with flour. Even if it spills, it's okay. Just start chasing it around and covering it. Next move is, you make another well, put more water. Boom. Keep mixing. You make another well, put more water. Never drop all the water at the same time, because since I'm doing it on high, it might be too much. My hand is already fucked up, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I'm gonna need probably a bit more water to get these dry parts here as well. Now the thing is that what I'm feeling in my hand at the moment is feeling way too soft, because I had to use the water to gather everything. It's not a bad consistency at the moment, but let's see, I'm feeling it's too sticky. See how it's still sticking up to my fingers? I don't like that. So we're gonna add a little bit more flour. I still have a water leftover water, like one finger, but I'm not gonna use that. We're gonna fix the situation now with a bit of flour. Still sticking to my hand. I want more flour. But you're gonna be adding a little bit by bit. This is still sticking to my hand. See? That's not good. More flour. See how I'm gonna give you a slow motion of what I'm doing here. You're massaging the ball like this with your palm, like boom. You're pushing it, boom. Then you're turning and pushing again. That's what I'm doing, but very fast. It's still sticky to my hand. I don't want it to stick so much. I'm adding more flour. But we're almost there. It needs to not be sticky, but bendable. This is working good. I like this. Now we're talking. You're gonna play with it just a little bit more. Let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, think for the bits, man. You need to feel the ball, yes. You could also go for some more aggressive ball ways, like, but that's only if you're angry. Now that you have this mass, here's what you're gonna do. I'm gonna do it slowly. So you start shaping it. See what I'm doing? I'm pulling it towards the bottom, from top to bottom. I'm twisting it from top to bottom. This is kind of okay. And you want this bottom part to not have anything like that. It needs to be perfect. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start pinching in the bottom, like that. Pinch, twist, pinch. And I'm gonna reduce the pinch every time. Smaller pinch, smaller, smaller. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Then you slap it on your hand. Pinch that little thing left. It's done. Doesn't need to be a perfect ball. I prefer it like that. Flat ball with flat surface. And now the final part is you need to lift for it to rest. I have this ball ready for that. And I'm gonna pull the ready ball we have from below that we're gonna use for the pizza right here. This is gonna be the final result once it's done after 2 to 3 hours of sitting outside. Well, yeah, covered. So in order for you to put it like that, you need to cover it with some little bit of oil, because the oil protects the dough from the oxygen. Just a little bit, you're gonna drip oil and start spreading it around. You want a little bit of oil everywhere. Just a little bit more. Oh. This is only for protecting the bowl. When you are done spreading, you put it inside and you cover it with the plate, and this is how it sits. Boom. The bowl is done. Now we clean up some of this shit. If you want to know how to most easy get dough from your hands, use a wire. Boom. Let me read real quick before I start cleaning here. What kind of olive? Yeah, I'm using olive, but you can use normal oil as well. It doesn't matter. You can use whatever oil you want. When I first made this pizza, I didn't use olive oil. I used normal Bulgarian Balkan sunflower oil. When I originally was making these pizzas in the restaurant for the covers, for covering the bowl. Alrighty then. Yeah, just like that. Boom, boom. You gotta have to keep your cleaning space in check. Now, I'm gonna make the sauce first. It doesn't matter which order you do it, but I'm gonna put this bowl in the fridge in the meantime because I'm using it tomorrow, not today. So, for the sauce you need tomato puree. It doesn't matter, it just needs to be thick. This one it says 7%, if you're curious. You kind of need like 5 to 6 tablespoons of it, not much, for this pizza. You're just gonna put it in a cup. This is where we're gonna mix it. Look. 6 spoons. Now the main spice you usually should be using is oregano, but I don't have oregano. I have a Bulgarian spice, which is called savory. It's pretty similar. It's a greeny thing. We call it chubrica here. I'm using that because I don't want to buy oregano. And you're just gonna do it all night. Be generous though. You throw it in the sauce. Generous amount. You're gonna put some black pepper as well. Generous amount again. You're gonna put generous amount of salt as well. And a generous amount of sugar. Now, usually there should be more spices as well for the proper sauce, but I'm doing this the lazy version. Other spices you can add as well are garlic and there was one more green thing, but I forgot its name in English. We call it basilic here. Maybe a Bulgarian can translate. No, you don't want to put mixed spice. Now you mix it and you have to taste it. What you're looking for it to be harsh on the saltness and on the sugar, it needs to be higher level than normal. It needs more sugar. And more salt as well. It needs more sugar. God damn it. And more salt. Okay. When you cannot handle the sauce anymore, when it's too much on your tongue, then it's ready. It's too salty and it's too sweet. That means it's good. Because it's gonna balance out after when you put it on the pizza dough. You don't need sugar and salt anymore. You need a pan again. sugar, spice, and everything nice. True. Nicky in the kitchen, Bulgarian star cooking up dishes that carry flavors afar. With righteous pride, he shares his delight. Each meal is a journey, a taste to ignite. DMDM big rhymes. Okay, this is the point where you want to start heating up the oven. Now, the more powerful oven you have, the better. Mine oven is not as powerful, so it's gonna take a longer time to cook. Let me show you here, better angle. So, how you wanna put it is, in my situation, max, which is, it says 250, but I've read in the instruction the max goes up to 300 on this option. And this option is called the grilling option, which you also need to put here at the same time as well to match. So this is now gonna be using the grill thingy on the top. Also, you want this to be mid-level to begin with. And you just leave it to heat up. Now, we spread the bowl. This is the second hardest difficult part. You're gonna put a little bit of flour on this. I'm gonna bring it here closer. I actually think this is a good enough angle. I'm gonna make it a little bit back how it was though. Oh. It's big swings, man. I cannot do it a little bit. God damn it. Alright, this is fine, I guess. Okay, so you're gonna put a little bit of flour here. You can put some flour on your fingers like that, just a little bit, to gather the bowl. Because since my bowl is a bit smaller, the bowl has connected to the walls of the bowl. So it's gonna be a bit tricky to disconnect it. Just slowly. Now, I don't like the consistency of this. It has risen too much. So when I start now, I think it's gonna break. But let's see. So you put it on the center here. I usually prefer for this to be harder. It's a bit too soft, but it is what it is. And you're gonna start pushing it from the center, 2 hands. I'm gonna do it slowly. Push, outward, inward. And you want to push it in a way like you're creating an edge at the same time. I actually want even more flour here because it's a bit too sticky. No idea, it is what it is. So you're gonna start spreading it a bit like that by pushing your finger so it creates a small edge. Now, when you get it around middle size, you're gonna start using both of your hands in the same time. Both hands upwards like that, towards the top. You spread your fingers and rotate. You shouldn't be rotating the entire thing though. One moment. Spread, rotate. Spread your fingers, not full spread, but it's a bit too soft, so it's not moving the way I want it, but this is the general idea of the situation. And you want where the border is thick, you want to thin it out. That's what this is doing. You're thinning out the border and spreading the dough outwards. You can keep doing this only like that. There is a potentially a little bit more risky thing I could do that I could show soon. But you can pretty much finish it off like that if you want. Now, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna pick it up and use the gravitation a little bit, vertically. Like this. Don't keep it in one place for a long time by using the thickness. Now, unfortunately, my middle broke because it's too soft. So we're gonna have to stabilize now. When this happens, you're going to pinch it a little bit, like this. Pinch it on top of it, on top of itself. Now that I know that this is too risky, I'm going to continue finishing it off the original way. I'm gonna remove some of the flour here that has gathered. I'm kinda afraid to make it perfectly spread till the end, so I'm gonna leave it around this part at the moment. Doesn't need to be a perfect circle. And now, I said this is gonna be my magnum opus pizza. I haven't done this before. Pay attention. We're gonna do a little bit of an out of the box move here. Don't say ruined until it's done. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna pull here a bit, like that. Just a little bit. And you're gonna pull this like that. And it's gonna end up looking like a heart. DM. Just like Bob Ross says, this is your world. We don't make mistakes, we make happy little accidents. Don't walk up yourself to the meta circle shape, my goods. Now, the only problem about this heart-shaped pizza, you probably want to do it only for special occasions, because this part that you just made here on the top, it becomes a bit thicker than it needs to be. So that's not very tasty usually when you eat it, but you know another pizza style. This is gonna break. It's getting too thin. I don't wanna touch it anymore. It's okay. It's gonna start looking better once we put stuff on it. This is how it looks at the moment. Now, you're gonna start putting the sauce that you created earlier. You start putting spoons like that everywhere. And very important situation with the sauces, you have to spread it everywhere evenly, especially around the edges. I'm gonna use the back of the spoon like that. Especially on this pizza, you wanna focus more sauce towards the top, because that's gonna be the more bready part. You wanna go as close to the border as possible. Very important. Because you wanna make the crust tasty as well. But you don't wanna cover the crust, so it looks good as well. You don't want it to look like a mess. You need to find a perfect distance. There we go. I'm gonna clean some of this shit before we start the toppings. Remove the flour. Ooh, I forgot that I usually put a little bit of olive oil in the sauce, but you don't need to. I'm not gonna do it now because I'm late. I don't wanna put olive oil on top like the Italians do. I don't like it. So in my situation, it's not gonna matter. When you put it in the sauce, you just do a little drip, just a little. It's not gonna matter this time because all of my toppings are high fat anyway, so it's gonna get oily from them. Okay. First topping, Bulgarian white cheese called sirene. I already took it out from this box it was. See where the chat is? It was there. It's in water. I already pulled it out 1 hour before that because I want to drain it from a bit of its water. We're just gonna put it away like that, boom. Otherwise your pizza is gonna become a little bit too watery, which is not a problem. I've done that before, it's doable. But when it comes out fresh from the oven, it's a little bit too all over the place, juicy, which I'm not a big fan of. Now you're gonna crush it. Yeah, sure. Teach Sven how to make pizza. You're gonna crush it. You guys might also know this as a feta cheese, but the Bulgarian one is a little bit crumbly than feta, a bit more crumbly. You wanna make it like snow, not very thin though. You wanna start crushing it with a fork like that. Yeah, good. When you're putting toppings, again, you need to prioritize the edges. Because the tastiest part of the pizza is the middle, you wanna make the edges to be tasty as well. Now, I would say that this amount of white cheese that I'm putting is a little bit too much, but it was my last piece, so I'm adding extra. I would say this is a bit too much white cheese though, overall. But worry not, it's still pretty good. I've tried it like that before as well. You don't want to make a mess of it, but you want to push it towards the edges again. More. White cheese is salty. I don't know what's up if you call it fresh in English, but it's fresher than the yellow cheese, I guess. You know, like feta. Next up we have bacon. This package of bacon is 200 grams. I add half of it, 100 grams. And even half of it is a big amount. We're going a bit hard on the topping amount. You shouldn't put usually that much. The reason why I'm putting more than normal is because I don't want the leftover bacon to be hanging in my fridge for long. So I'm using half now, half tomorrow. There's gonna be 4 pieces out of 8. Those are not like very big long pieces usually compared to others. I put 3. Now you can use any type of meat. You can use ham, you can use chicken as well, but if you're gonna use chicken, you need to pre-cook it a little bit. You cannot put it raw. Now I cut the bacon in like this, in 4, so it becomes like a little quadrant pieces like that. You just start arranging it again, focusing on the outside, on the edge. As you can see, this is a bit too much bacon. You should probably add 70% of that, but that's fine. It's still good. Okay. Next up, we call this kashkaval. It's Bulgarian yellow cheese. It's soft and firm and very fat. I cannot give you a better explanation of it. Probably WhatsApp can give you in chat. I'm sure they have that in Slovenia. The closest thing to that we used to do in the restaurant is yellow mozzarella, which is like the H mozzarella. You're going to get a rendy thing like that, put it on a plate. You're gonna cut half of it. This is 280 grams. Half is gonna be 140, which is again a little bit much, but fuck it. We're going with a bit much on everything. I would say 100 would be enough. This is even a bit softer yellow cheese than what I usually go for, but this is pretty much about it. And you're gonna rend it on the thickness in the plate. Wait, did I say Slovenia? I mean Croatia. Oh. Same thing, focusing on the edges. You don't want the cheese to look that high. That means it's too much, but just wants to be like a little bit everywhere without putting a bit too much in the same place. You should put the least amount in the middle, just to barely cover it. Because again, the middle is usually the most juicy part anyway. And usually the pizza, especially if you're making the dough for the first time, the middle of the pizza is gonna become very thin because you're doing it with your hands. As you saw, our pizza already kind of broke in the middle, so you don't want it to be, a lot of stuff there is gonna be very heavy. And now for Donnie's favorite ingredient. One putting too many toppings make the dough soggy or wet. That's only if you put too much sauce, which we didn't do. But yes, generally you want a little bit less toppings so you can find a better balance between the dough and the pizza. Well, I already told you that I'm putting extra toppings because that's the amount of things I have to work with at the moment, and I don't want to waste them. He missed cheers near the plate. No, I didn't. What are you talking about? The final ingredient is 1 egg. You have to put it with your hand though. Pay attention. Now this is gonna be messy. Ay, ay, ay. So you're gonna break the egg and put it in your hand. And you're gonna start letting it drip over the pizza slowly. Everywhere. I couldn't get it everywhere the way I wanted, but good enough. You can also move it a little bit like that, if it's all in one place. Boom. Well, I haven't done the not overcooking situation. I don't mind it being overcooked. It still tastes good in my opinion. Now I don't usually do that, but I'm gonna do it this time because everything got a bit messy. I'm gonna use a little paper towel to just do a little bit of the edges. This is only happening like this because it's a heart-shaped pizza. I don't wanna the egg being spilled too much on the side. I'm just gonna clean it up a bit like that on the edge. If you have a circle pizza, there's no way something is gonna get outside of it. Yeah, just a little bit to clean it. Boom. And now it's time to put it. Who's the hard for? No one in particular. I'm just showing you this pizza because I haven't showed it before. This is the final result. Now you put it, as I said, 300 degrees. If you have less, you're gonna do more minutes. For 300 degrees, I start for 10 minutes. And when those 10 minutes are over, I pull it, I pull the level one level above, and then I put for another 2 minutes. You're gonna see when the time comes. Now, if you guys don't have a kitchen space, oh, actually I didn't make the pizza on the kitchen space. I actually showed you in the pan. So you don't need a kitchen space the way I did it. You can just spread it in the pan. But usually actually put the dough on the space here next to the sink. There I put the flour and there I spread it because it's more stable. If you want to do it on a space like that, you want to definitely make sure you clean it thoroughly at least 2 times before you attempt to do it there. Now we wait. Well, Warren, I'm glad you're enjoying it, but just so you know, this is the only thing that I'm a master of. Because I was a pizza maker for 6 months. Everything else is a lot worse that we've tried, especially the last time they made me make a cake. It was torture. No, fuck that, man. I think it took me like 3 or 4 hours and we fucked it up as well. Do you send pizzas to Norway? No, it's gonna get fucked until then. I can show you how to do cake. I mean, I'm sure you guys can, but I feel like... No, I've already done a cake stream. Never again. I gave up. I can show you the video if you want. I got very mad during the process. Maybe Donnie can find? You want us to do a step-by-step stream together? Okay, Kathy. If you're planning to fly to Bulgaria, but at the moment you're not invited. Yeah, it is very nice. Oh, I found it. It's a long thing. It's a 3-hour video. Yeah. You can skip some of the things during the process because they're very repeated. I'm sorry I linked it in that moment, especially, but yeah. Looking for a man that loves eating and cleaning. I love cleaning when I need to clean something. I was a window cleaner for 5 years and I had to clean other things there as well. And when I lived with my parents, my mom, especially my dad, would leave things very dirty. So I was kind of used to cleaning after him as well. No, the cake looks good, but it didn't end up being a good final product on the taste. Because I was doing the proportions on eye as well. And it ended up being too sweet and too too harsh on the dough. It should have came out a lot softer. The dough was too tough. Oh, I started with a lot of soft love, but then it turned out at the end with some very harsh killing love. I'll tell you that. Man, I'm late. It's 20 minutes past to 9. I told my dad I was gonna be done 40 minutes ago and call him to give him some pizza. Wait, where's my phone? Oh, my phone is on the chat. Yo, of course, thank for the sub, man. Appreciate it. Stay right. And Bartia for the bits and Wilson for the 5 years. You should do a stream where you make traditional Bulgarian food. But that's just it, Warren. I don't really know how to cook that many other things. I have some other videos. I have one other video that I made Bulgarian moussaka. That's the only Bulgarian thing that I cooked. Anything else I don't really know how to cook. I gotta learn from scratch. The moussaka I do doesn't have an eggplant on my sir. That's the Greek moussaka. The Bulgarian doesn't have that. When I did my first cheesecake, it took ages and then it went up in the middle of pudding in the middle. Alright, this is where we change the levels, boys. Pay attention. This is already kind of cooked. This is already ready, but I like my pizza to be more dark on the top. So we put this level one level higher. And we put the pizza back for 2 more minutes. Or 1 minute. Because this is actually kind of cooked well. I'm gonna put 2. See how it goes. And I have a pizza cutting knife as well. You don't need that. You can cut the pizza with a normal big knife as well, but using both is ideal. You can only use the pizza cutting knife if you have one of these pizza cutting boards, the circular ones, which I don't have, because it's a lot more comfortable to put the pizza there and then you go boom boom. But since I don't have that, I'm gonna cut it inside the pan. I cut pizza with scissors. I haven't tried that. I personally don't want to. I don't have cooking scissors, man. I don't want to make my scissors messy. Yes, Bulgarian moussaka is ground meat and potatoes. Indeed. You show us the righteous pizza cutting. I mean, sure, yes. Prepare a plate as well to put some pieces inside. I like my pizza to be dark on the top, man. Not burnt, but you know, like dark brown. Like it went through the fire. Now we're talking. Let me give you a closer view as well. Boom. See how the egg looks so nice as well? It's a little bit more in the center, but that's fine. Now, if you're not sure if your pizza is cooked on the bottom, it should be because it's already been 10 minutes. But if you wanna double check, you're gonna, with a knife, you're gonna just a little bit raise it, and you wanna move the knife like that. See? That's firm. That means the dough is cooked. No soft dough here. Now you're not gonna get it like this pizza that they cook in the restaurants where let's say on like proper fire and it makes the bottom like with a little bit like black, like it's been on stone. You cannot make it like that at home. But that doesn't mean it's bad either. It's still good. Now, this hard pizza, if you want to cut it instantly, it's a bit how you're gonna have to keep this with the protector. You cut it through the middle first with a thick knife. And then you can continue with the knife if you want. If you don't want, you can go with this. Now we make 3 slices on each side. The first slice is not gonna be a perfect triangle, but that's fine. You can make it like that. When you're using this pizza knife, you wanna push towards the bottom. And then the last few slices are gonna be a bit bigger here. Boom! Now, since the pizza is too hot, it's gonna be hard to pull it off like that because it's gonna crumble. I would advise you to wait a bit, but if you don't wanna wait, you're gonna pull out something to scoop it up with, like a spatula and your knife, potentially. So, yeah, it's not cut very well here. It's sticking. Well, that wasn't ideal, but it is what it is. Now, this thing is falling apart in the middle because I made the dough way too thin in the middle, unfortunately. So it's crumbling. Next time better, maybe. This is the last piece. Actually, no. I'm only eating 2 pieces. Wait. This is too much for me for dinner. I'm sorry that it's gonna look like that. I usually eat 3 for lunch, but for dinner I'm gonna eat only 2. Ay.
If you ever get a chance to try reindeer pizza, you should. So good. Sir. So good. I've never tried reindeer meat in my life. That's why I use baking paper. Well, the problem with baking paper is that once you start picking up the pieces, especially if it's coming out of the oven, the paper itself, no, actually I wouldn't suggest you to use baking paper with making pizza at all, what's up? Because the baking paper doesn't resist on this high temperature. It goes up to 200 degrees usually, and we cook the pizza up to 300. It actually can catch fire, just so you know. I've actually tried that. So don't do it. But if you want it to be less sticky, you could potentially, you don't need to. Like the stickiness, you can just move around a bit. You don't need to put anything. You can coat the bottom if you want with a little bit of butter, but it's not needed.
I'm gonna put this back in because I wanna keep it warm, because I'm gonna be calling my dad to give him a little bit. And I'm gonna change the perspective here for you guys, because we're gonna eat and I'm gonna tell you if it came out good. And then we're done. What are you guys talking about? Let's see. What is about the dough? Some of the pizza unfortunately got deconstructed here, but it is what it is. Guys, this is the pizza that I like to make for myself with my most favorite stuff. So for me, this is a 10 out of 10 pizza. I cannot tell you anything more. The only complaint I have is that it's a bit too salty, but the reason is because we put a lot of white cheese, the Bulgarian white cheese, the Fedamo. Since it's a salty cheese, so it's because it's that high amount, it made the pizza a bit salty, but that's fine. Yeah, you're welcome, Sandro, man. I haven't made pizza for 2 years before you requested it. I had to practice 2 pizzas before that to remember how I used to do it. One was the normal one, the second one was the hard one. I actually know how to make another pizza, but I haven't done that even another shape, but I haven't done that one in 10 years. So I kind of don't want to do it because it's not my favorite shape. There's a way to make the pizza to look like a clam, but you don't need it, it's unnecessary. Do you like it, Depeman? I love it. I love it so much when I'd rather make this pizza by myself instead of buy a pizza from somewhere else. No, I've made calzone as well, Vertio, but that's not the clam one. Calzone is just a closed one. The clam one is kind of half closed, and then you make a little bit of edge with a fork to look like a clam. It's hard to explain. I can also make a white sauce for the pizza, but I don't want, I never make the white sauce because the ingredients are more annoying to connect. The white sauce, you make it by adding half mayonnaise and half milk and spices. And you make it so it becomes in the consistency of a sauce you can spread on the pizza. Well, I wanna buy mayonnaise, man. Well, this technically isn't a Balkan pizza course. This is technically an Italian pizza, The only Balkan thing about this pizza is the white cheese and the spice that we use, which was savory spice instead of oregano. Otherwise, Balkan pizza, the way your grandma would make it, it's very thick. They make it to raise with soda as well. I'll give you credit, you had a lot of confidence in this. Well, I've done 2,000 pizzas, my good son. That's why. Anyway. I'm ending the stream, boys, here. Hope you learned something. Maybe you try it yourself. The most scary part is the dough, but you're just gonna have to dig your hands in it. And also fill it with your hands, the way I was explaining you, like for it to not be sticky and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it, boys. I'm gonna end it here. What is tomorrow, Saturday? Tomorrow we're going back to Hots with free song days. So that's that. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay righteous.